This is Maitreyi Chatfield. I'm the Senior Director for Data Registries. I am going to walk you through the grid report today, which I believe all of you have received and would like to see how to interpret it. So just to give you a high-level overview, everybody is on mute at this point. So I'll walk through the webinar and the presentation as I have it. And when I get done, I can unmute people either one at a time or overall. We'll just have to see how many attendees we have. At any time, please feel free to type in your questions, either on the questions window or on the chat window. And when we get to the end, if you would raise your hand using the little hand icon, I will know which of you has a question so I can unmute you. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So all of you who submitted data for the grid registry likely received 2 versions of your grid report uploaded to your website, and possibly more if you give us position level data. So the report that I'm going to spend the most time on is your PDF facility report, which looks like what you see on your screen right now. These are for 6-month periods. As you scroll through, the first thing you will see is the list of all the measures that we report on. This includes process measures and outcome measures, and it really depends on what level you participate at as to what your feedback report will include. We show you a map each time that tells you where all the other facilities are, so you know who you're being compared to. We have a very high-level executive summary. That lists all the measures on which we have data, and it gives you the data for your facility and how it compares to the various comparison groups. So other facilities that have a similar volume as yours, other facilities in the same region, in similar kinds of facility types, and all the facilities in the registry. Your facility data will appear right here on the first column, and it's exactly what that measure says it is. So the mean radiography wait time in minutes for this facility was 19.7. The comparison numbers are the median values across the whole category. So if you look down here at the bottom of the page, it tells you what the comparison values are. So you're compared to the median across all the grid sites. And the reason we do this is that there might be one facility out there with a really high or a really low value, and if we compared you to the means, the outlier may unduly influence these values, so we compare you to the median. So if you walk your way down, it's just each of the wait time measures, and then you have the turnaround time measures. And these are all the green grid variables. It's all of your process measures that most facilities give us data on. The next table is for gold participants only. These are the outcome measures that we get from the facilities who have the data. Again, you interpret these numbers the same way. The first column is the measure for your facility, and all the others are comparisons for the group that is listed at the top of the column. And what you see here are the median values. So it's the midpoint. Half the facilities have a value for this measure that's below this number, and the other half have a value that's above. So if you look at lung biopsy, for instance, 4.7% were non-diagnostic for this site. Half the facilities had a rate of 3.8 or lower, and the other half had a value above it among the community hospital-based facilities. What should you take away from this? Really what you're looking for over here is whether your facilities data are more or less in line with all the facilities in the registry, or if they're way off. And we give you these comparisons to other facilities like yours because you might have similar constraints. For instance, you may think that your facility's wait times are high because you have a really high volume facility, and so you cannot be as efficient as you would like. So you could compare yourself to other facilities that have a similar volume. And you're just getting a very high level picture. It doesn't give you any details. You'd have to go investigate what may be causing the difference at your facility. Scrolling down, we give you a description of all the other sites that are in the registry. As you can see, we have a fairly high number of community facilities, but we do have a mix. We have academic community hospitals, freestanding centers. We have a distribution across all types of locations, metropolitan, suburban, rural, range of sizes, and facilities in several census regions. We don't have that many in the West. If you thought there was just that one facility out there, So we combine it with the South and a reasonable distribution of volume. The next set is your structural measures. These are things that you report on where you just say yes or no. So what you will see up on top over there is what your facility responded, and below is a comparison of what the other facilities in the registry did. The person who entered the form undoubtedly knows what you did for the structural measure. The reason we report it here is if you share this report with others at your facility, everybody can take a look and see what was responded at your facility, and you can determine whether you're doing what is practice and norm across everyone else, or if you're doing something that's out of the ordinary and then you might want to reconsider your practice. Aha, this is just let me just see. That slide should have data on it, and I have no idea why it isn't showing up. But before we get there, let me show you one other thing. When you got your PDF reports, you likely also got a spreadsheet report, which has exactly the same information as your PDF report. The reason we give you the spreadsheet report is because you may want to present the data in slightly different ways at your facility. You may want to divide them up differently, do charts in a slightly different way, and the spreadsheet report gives you that opportunity. I'm going to take one more pass at this file to see if I can get it to open up correctly so we can show it to you. Because once you get past the tables, what we have are a variety of charts that essentially compare your facility over time as well as with other peer facilities. And it again goes through all the measures that you saw in the high-level summary of measures and in your executive summary, but there we go. So here's how you read each of these pages. It is a little bit information dense, but we try to consolidate all the information about a measure on a particular page so that you could see it. So this page, for instance, has the radiography wait time in minutes. The left side table and chart are for the mean. So if you recall, if you were the person filling out the forms for your facility, for each of these measures, when you fill out the forms for grid, what you tell us for each month is both the mean value and the median value. And we try to present all of these at the same time. Do you have a question?
Can chart accounts be compared together like DIR? Also, can all data go into the master account like DIR?
So the question was for child facilities. So let me explain this to those of you who are not multi-facility units. So if you are a facility that has multiple sites, we treat you as a single entity for some purposes, but when we report back, we do it for every individual site. Now, in some of our other registries, in the DoseMX registry and the National Mammography Database, we do facility-level reports as well as consolidated reports. We intend to do that with GRID as well, but we don't have those reports quite ready yet. So this time around, you only received reports for each of your individual locations. But hopefully, by the time we do the next 6-monthly report, we will have a consolidated report as well, so you can compare all of your related sites or all of your child facilities on a single report. And you can look at them separately as well. So getting back to the chart we are looking at, for every measure, there is a mean and a median, which is what you reported. And on top is all the data for the most recent 6 months in table form. Just like you saw in the summary table, the comparisons are to facilities of similar volume, region, type, and all facilities in the registry. The N that you see in the first row tells you how many facilities you're being compared to in each category. The second row tells you your position in each of those categories. So this facility ranked 28th for wait time among all GRID facilities, 8 out of 19 among community-based facilities, 9 out of 12 among the Midwest, and 10 out of 13 in facilities of the same volume. And if you look at the trend below, it shows you how this facility's value has trended over time in comparison to the registry as a whole. And on the right is all that same information for the median. And that's essentially it. Once you understand how this page is laid out, all the other pages are laid out exactly the same way. So ultrasound wait time, and go through all the wait times. If there is a measure where we only ask for data one way, where we only ask for the mean, you'll only see one set of tables and charts. And if you are a gold facility where you give us outcome measures, you'll see these gold level measures. If you only give us the turnaround time and wait time measures, you will not have these pages in your registry. So that's essentially it. So that's how you interpret your facility level report. If you gave us physician level data, you also have a physician level report, which you would interpret in a similar way, and except that your comparisons are across all the physicians at your facility. You'll have trend charts where you can compare physicians across your facility, and you will have comparison tables where you can compare different physicians across your facility. One thing that I would like to draw your attention to on the last page is on the last page of all of your PDF reports is a link to a marketing toolkit up over there. And what that is a set of resources such as a seal that you can use, download, and use on your letterhead or anywhere in your facility. We have ads that you can customize for your facility, tabletop signs, and press releases. If you need our help making any modifications, please feel free to reach out to us. But they're self-explanatory. You can add in your logo and reuse them. What you're doing is a very important thing for patient care and patient satisfaction and improved quality. So we would like you to get the word out and tell your patients that you're looking out for them and participating in this important quality activity. The other new link that I would like to draw your attention to on our webpage is the Qualified Clinical Data Registry, which is right over here in the margin. And the reason I draw your attention to it is it includes some of these grid measures that could potentially be used for PQRS reporting if we were to get qualified. So what this page tells you is that we have self-nominated ourselves to be a Qualified Clinical Data Registry. So please look at this page, follow what we announced, and you will know by the end of May, if we were qualified or not. There will be some differences in the way we collect data for the grid measures. So we will need to have exam level data, and we'll have more information on that on this page. But it is a very valuable resource for your physicians because they can use these data that they're collecting already anyway, because you're able to roll these and give it to us. So you have these data in your facility, and they can take these and fulfill a reporting requirement which has implications for how much they get paid by Medicare. So keep your eye out. We'll have more information posted over here as it becomes available. I believe we have one more question.
Yes. Are the mean, median, and quartile purposely equal so that it graphs as a line and not a box?
Actually, the mean, median, and the percentiles are not the same. They are the line indicates the mean, and the vertical lines are your confidence intervals. We don't do confidence intervals for your facility because we only have one data point. And when anytime you look at this registry line, it shows you the variation. And I'm not entirely sure if I answered your question correctly. Do you know who that was? So I can unmute you. Let me go ahead. Joe, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you so you can ask your question. Did I answer what you were asking?
Yeah, I think so. I was just, okay. They display in the table as the same number for the mean standard, standard deviation is empty. But
oh, that's because it's just your facility. If it's there's only one value for your facility.
Right, right. That's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to explain that to physicians and whoever else.
You know, yeah, some of this is just kind of the limitations of the tool, and we should think about whether there is a way we could just blank it out, and I don't know. But I understand it's confusing, and we just, I mean, it's silly, but we're driven by the tool limitations.
No, No, understandable.
Are there any other questions? We did record this webinar, and we will post it on our website. So if there's anybody else you want to share this with, please feel free. When it posts, we will try to send out a broadcast email so that you know it's there. And if you think of any other questions, please feel free to email me. I'm going to be here, and the questions window will be open for a little while, so you can send me the questions. And if you don't have anything right away, I'll go ahead and hang up. So the audio part will be done, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye.